We're back. I say we're back. Don't we say that every week? So back for good. What was the song?
Do you know, I was thinking the exact same thing. I was going to start working out as we were just hitting record. We're back, and I couldn't remember the song. And what is it? We've come a long way, but we're not too sure where we've been.
I don't think that's that song, is it?
We've had good. I don't know.
We've had good time. I don't know.
But remember this.
No, that's not that one, is it?
Is it not?
That's the one when they came back. Back for Good was one of the original songs. That one, I think that one was when they. That's the one, yeah. Different song. Song, and I'll sing it. Yeah.
There we go. There's my career just crashed.
I think the other one was the one which they did when they came back after they'd been gone for a while, wasn't it?
Anyway, talking about being gone, you were gone for about the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I was on my own a week or two ago. I said, you're at a special, doing a special project and all this. What was your project?
Well, as you knew, and probably a few people who know me knew, I was a little short way from being chartered, or stroke chartered fellow, or chartered financial planner, as the official title is. So I was just doing, and an option, I guess, was a 4 or 5 months worth of revision and then sit an exam, which would have been 3 hours, or I do a 1 week intensive course. And in fairness, a friend of mine who did warn me that it was intensive, and I kind of took that with a pinch of salt.
You didn't eat him.
And I didn't listen, did I? And it was intensive. But it was good, it was stressful, a very stressful week. But we got it over the line.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Chartered financial planner.
I am, yeah.
And a fellow as of today.
And a fellow as of today, yeah.
Not a male, a fella. A fellow.
A fellow of the Chartered Insurance Institute.
Congrats, lad. There was a bit of panic because when I said a few weeks ago you're on a special mission, all would be revealed.
I hadn't passed then.
You hadn't even taken it. And I was like, no. What happens if you don't?
yeah, but it was an intensive week because it involved us having to write an assignment of, I want to say between 7,000 and 10,000 words, then role plays, and then interviews then on the last day, pass or fail at the end. And but it was good, kind of tested my knowledge a little bit, which you need to do now and again. But yeah, all the line chartered. But you
more exams?
No more exams. Literally, I did my last one this morning. I did one called long-term care just because I needed 5 points. I was 5 points short. 355 points I sit on now of exams.
I think the way the world has gone over the last few years, I think there is almost an assumption that us that work in money know our facts and figures about allowances and what you can and cannot do. I think now there is more of a progression towards the understanding of the human and the psychology and emotions attached to money and spending and saving and investing. And I think that we have done a lot of that over the last few years, even prior to COVID and all that, the amount of courses we went on to London, this, that, and the other. So I don't think they're exams, but I do think that we will continue to upgrade our knowledge and understanding on areas like that going forward. I think the formal qualifications of finances are finished, but other than that, we will still continue to learn.
Yeah, because you're chartered as well, aren't you, now?
I'm a certified financial planner. You're a chartered...
But you're not a chartered wealth manager.
Chartered wealth manager as well, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. So, there's no more academical qualifications within our profession we need to kind of do, because we're at the, I kind of put it at the pinnacle, I guess, of where we can be in our profession.
God help the word of finances, we're at the pinnacle.
Yeah, I know. But we're also we are going to apply for a chartered firm status as well, which gives our kind of firm a bit of kudos as well. But no more actual exams of that. But I think I've always said this: you never stop learning, and the day you stop learning is the day you're going to walk away from what you're doing. If you're arrogant enough to think that you'll know everything in the profession you're in, You never are. And you've got to continue learning. And, I think that's what we'll do. We'll just keep doing things. We'll keep developing our knowledge. We'll add in little kind of courses here and there. And we're always learning, always reading, always listening, always speaking to our peers. And just trying to develop everything we can, really. And just being inquisitive, I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, I think even if you use kind of March 20 as a kind of a base when everything started, I think, fine, we've done some formal qualifications and stuff like that in terms of finance, but we also done coaching courses. We also, done mental health first aid courses and all that sort of stuff. And there's been quite a lot of non-professional qualification stuff that has been done and will continue to be done, because I think that the psyche or the understanding of the human brain and how people react and that to money and their emotions and all of that sort of stuff is probably far more important to understand than the current tax implications of an ISA or a pension or whatever. They will just change, the numbers will change, and you just have to know them. But the understanding of somebody now is probably as important as all the formal qualifications that are now in the back pocket.
Yeah, exactly. And it's good to get the formal ones out of the way, but I think there's a hell of a lot more learning to do around other things, around mindset and behaviours and all the things that actually our profession has no way of teaching you. I'd actually say probably the qualification you do, which is different than mine, is far more practical than where a lot of my qualifications have come from. I think the course I did was far more practical based and kind of hands on than what I've ever kind of been used to in the past.
But then, this is no disrespect to the younger, probably 20-odd-year-olds, but I think there is a need for life experience and almost, let's say, business experience, because we deal with a lot of business owners, and being business owners yourself, you have to know almost how that feels yourself, of going through having kids, buying a house, either being in debt, not being in debt, setting up a business, running a business. You have to know how those emotions are to be able to understand the person on the other side of the table or on the sofa as well. Just having the formal qualification, I think, alone, it's great to have, and it gives you kudos that you can study and you can learn and you can memorize stuff, but you also have to have that understanding of the person that's there in the room with you, and what they go through and how they feel when you're chatting to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's kind of lots around that, and that's all the things that we've been learning and implementing with our clients, and even with some of the business partners we work with and things like that. That's something we've kind of really been kind of pushing. So
before we started this today, one of the guys just said in the office, it's the anniversary today. No idea. 2 years since we started the first
episode.
Series of
It's the very first episode 2 years ago. What are we now? May. So May 2020 we started this thing.
The world was a different
Where's the
place.
world gone since?
Where has time gone since?
Yeah.
The world was such a different place.
It's a different place now. It's a different place every week at the moment.
I won't ask what the favourite guest was. No, don't answer that.
No, there was some. We've had some great guests, haven't we? Do you know what I mean? And I think there's been some great learnings along the way, and we're gonna keep putting this content out. You're gonna keep giving this information out that we kind of do. We're slowly gonna take this to another level, because we've got the YouTube channel as well.
And it's been fun as well.
Yeah.
It has been fun.
And challenging.
Yeah. More so when it was Zoom based and you were trying to log into something or somebody wasn't on.
Yeah.
Hit record.
And
You're on mute.
Yeah, exactly that.
Put your video camera on. Those lines.
Some of the challenges we have now is probably around us finding time to sometimes do it. Like, we do try and make time, but it's been absolutely crazy the last 3 weeks with half term, with exam courses, with random weeks off for kids as well.
Here's the thinking then. Let's say 2 years ago and it was lockdown. Kids are at home. Everyone was stuck at home. Me so even more so. People remember the Achilles.
I was here.
The Achilles,
I was the only one in the building.
And everyone had so much stuff going on at home, but they still had time more so than ever, I think, to do things. Now we're back in normality-ish, new normality, whatever it's called. Kids are back in school. We're in the middle. It seems, which, don't get me wrong, I think is actually quite nice in my brain, that the last 2 years have gone and the things that were more positive, as in making time for ourselves or speaking to our neighbours or walking in our local area, is all gone.
Yeah. Literally, we have gone back to normal.
And as much as it is lovely to do that, I actually think we need to take a step back, review the 2 years, take out of our brain all the crap, and there was a lot of it in there, of all the bad things, but some of the nice things on a nice May, June, July evening when you were only allowed to walk in your local area and you spoke, you stopped and talked to your neighbours, that's all gone. Everything is gone. And
I always said this, mind. I know people are saying, well, I don't think we'll go back to normal. I was always been convinced we would. It's just naturally how we are as humans.
And as much as people were
Don't get me wrong, there's going to be a large percentage of people who will have changed huge amount of things, but I generally think most people would have slipped back into
the
old
thing,
habits, if not worse.
yeah, the thing of making time and all of that sort of stuff, I think people need to take stock of themselves and go, do you remember that time? I think when you talk about that, some people bring a smile on their face, and as much as it was the most horrible time I can ever remember in my life, everyone kind of smiles and you kind of go, oh, do you remember that when you sat out the back garden, or you had a wine and cheese with friends on Zoom and all that silly things? There was happiness there, and I think people need to reconnect with that section that they enjoyed.
Oh, yeah.
Rather, great that the rat race is back again. I love the rat race. If it's less than 100 miles an hour, I'm not happy, but I think there needs to be some connection with that happiness again, that part of the day or the week that people went, I can't do much more, my internet's off at home, whatever it may be, I'm going for a walk, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's gone now, and it needs to come back.
Most people's businesses haven't changed in that period. I think what you've got now is that everyone's still trying to chase back that social life and going back out to where they kind of were, where kind of everyone kind of gave up on that. So I think that's where you're sometimes chasing, where you didn't have to chase that before. But it's interesting.
Here's the idea. I know you were at the rugby the weekend, the social life, and I think I'm guilty of this. Do you think, and we talked about this when things were starting to open back up again and going, we're going to go out and we're going to do this. I have this can't be arse feeling sometimes, and it's wrong, and I know it's wrong. It's just like, I think the fact that you were out of it for so long, and I'm speaking to other people, they're going, I can't be arsed doing that, and we need to have the kick in the arse to kind of go, stop. Just because we were at home and we're accustomed to being at home nearly every evening of the week, or now you kind of go, if you get an invite, sometimes you go, and you try and make excuses when you go, no, don't make it, and I'm the worst of everyone. No, don't make an excuse. Go and do it. Go and see someone you haven't seen in a while. Have a game of golf. Go out for a meal, whatever it may be. But how many people are just can't be arsed after still?
I think loads of us become hermits. I was guilty of it. People asking you to go places, you're like, can't really be arsed. But once you get out there, you kind of enjoy it.
Christ, last week you were like Mr.
I was out twice.
Twice, yeah. Huh? Yeah. Rugby.
Albeit, Wednesday, I was a little bit tired, as you well know, but we won't go into that. And I was probably running on 20% battery left by the time we actually went to it. But it was great, though. We went to the good, the bad, and the rugby, and met the guys there, and it was a great evening. Friday, I was out for the rugby. Interesting.
It wasn't really a rugby game, from what I heard.
It was, well, let's not go into that. I'm assuming we're in the politics of rugby, but the first half, it looked like it was going to be a cricket score, and then literally just died of death. It was like someone took the foot off the gas as soon as they came in after half time.
I presume that they're human beings. It's one of those normal things. Unless you are at the pinnacle of your sport, and at the moment the likes of Liverpool are chasing every trophy, first ever time for quadruple, and they're pushing, and Saturday night they just couldn't get over the line for a win, and they are guys that are the best of the best of the best in the world. Yeah, sometimes it does happen.
Sometimes
you are just human.
But I kind of think they had so much momentum in the first half. They should have kept that momentum going in the second half just to show that they can do it, because I think that's what the fans need to see. But let's not get into that because the state of Welsh rugby is.
There's a lot happening. We've just got an email some minutes ago of a nice piece of video that we've had commissioned for something.
Yeah, there's lots
more
coming.
to be revealed, but it was
lots coming on
quite
that.
nice.
There's lots of stuff coming on that. Been shortlisted for another award. Got an interview on that one, I think, haven't we?
Yeah.
Panel interview.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, for the person that goes to it. I sense my name has been put in the melting pot for that.
Well, we're both coming to that.
Oh wait, happy days.
It's fine.
Yeah, the awards seem to be coming thick and fast, which is lovely. It's lovely to get recognised
for the hard
for
work.
what we're doing. Most of the stuff that hasn't been made public, I suppose, yet, and a lot of stuff going on with Mr. Stanley as well, isn't there?
Yeah, with more to be revealed. So watch this space, as we always say.
Yeah, it was lonely a few weeks ago. Good to have you back. As there's no more exams, obviously there can't be any more excuses. And
oh no, we're back on.
You are the socialite that there is now after being out twice last weekend. I'm hoping now that that doesn't impact on you sitting down here chatting away.
No, we'll go full throttle now. We'll get the social media back up and running properly, and we're going to go full throttle. There'll be more videos being produced, and away we go.
A lot more education. Stay tuned.